I feel like there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes in the makeup industry that a lot of people don't know about. So for today's Makeup and Chat, we are going to talk about that. I'm going to do my makeup and give you kind of my insider's perspective on all of this, whether influencers are being bought these days. I really do think this is definitely worth exploring. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. So when I say that there are things going on that people don't know about, I feel like it's pretty common knowledge at this point that influencers get PR, right? We get free products. We also make commissions on the links that are in our description box. Like, I think pretty much everybody knows about that. They know about sponsored videos, but there are definitely other ways that brands are getting influencers to talk about their products over other brands and essentially buy their loyalty. Now, as an influencer, I hate that word, but as a beauty creator, somebody who talks about makeup on YouTube, I am not going to sit up here on a high horse and act like I'm above all of this. This is my job. It's how the industry works. I'm just going to be using the Fenty Soft Lit Foundation in number 150, and I'm going to be applying it with the Sigma Soft Coverage brush. So the reason I'm sharing this is not to call anybody out. I just think it's only fair that the viewers know how these things work behind the scenes. You know, when it comes to traditional advertising, everybody kind of knows what goes on. Remember all of the mascara ads that, you know, they were using false lashes? I feel like most people knew that. You know, when you see a McDonald's advertisement, the hamburgers in real life do not look like what they look like on the screen. I mean, we all know that brands try to make their products look better. They try to stand out in various different ways, you know, all the tricks of the industry. And nobody really talks about the influencer side of it. And maybe it's because they think it'll make them look bad. I mean, why would any of us want to get up here and make you mistrust us more than you already do? You know, that just doesn't make sense. But at the same time, and this is just a little bit of a side tangent, I don't think you should trust any one influencer when it comes to buying a product, whether they're lying about it, whether they're not lying about it. I could be 100% honest about something that I love. This foundation, for example, I love it, but it's not going to work for everybody, you know? And so I think it's up to the consumer at some point to do their research, read the reviews on, let's say, the brand's website or the Sephora website. Just make sure you don't read the incentivized ones. Just sort those out, because I think it's more helpful to read a review of somebody who's actually purchased a product with their own money. Sometimes I read reviews over on Reddit. There are tons of makeup boards. Even like I have a Facebook group and it's full of just everyday people, non-influencer makeup lovers, and I get to sit there and read their honest opinions on everything. You can ask the community, what do you guys think of this product? And they will tell you their opinion. So I think it's good to get a lot of different information before you're making a purchase, especially if it's a high-end product and it's going to be expensive. But honestly, when it comes to brands buying influencers' attention, it's not really a new thing. Before there were influencers, they were taking magazine editors on brand trips and showering them with free products that, you know, in the hopes that they would recommend it in the magazine. It's just that magazines aren't really a thing anymore. So they went to what's popular, which is influencers and people on social media. And this is also not exclusive to the beauty community. I see it with, you know, gamers on YouTube or people who review cars. My husband watches so many of them, and they are always getting to test out all these fancy new cars before they launch and going on these trips and things like that. So it's nothing new. Even when I worked at Sephora, we were kind of our own little micro influencers, because we would be suggesting products to customers who came in, and the brands absolutely took note of that. When I worked there, I mean, I was a manager and I mainly worked in the back. I didn't work on the sales floor, but the brands would come in and give all of us what we called gratis, which, you know, it's free products. And it was kind of like getting PR. And I felt like, at least from what I saw, the brands that gave us the most and the brands that were the most generous were generally the brands that I felt like my coworkers recommended the most out on the selling floor. If there was a particular skincare brand that just gave us the whole line and expected us to go home and try it, I would hear my coworkers recommending that brand over everybody else. So I think in some ways it does sway you a little bit as far as PR. It's human nature that when you're given a gift, even though it's not really a gift because they're not your friend, they're doing it for business purposes, and you have to kind of separate that in your head. But it's human nature that when you get a gift from someone, it's like you want to repay that or you feel grateful to them. And in the beginning, when I first started getting PR, I do think it made a little bit of a difference. But as time goes on, I'm in a place now where I can buy what I want to buy to review. Back when I started, I was broke. And so if somebody was sending me free stuff, of course I'm going to talk about it. It was free, you know? But now I'm not really worried. If I get kicked off a PR list, I get kicked off. I don't really care. And I always try to review products with the thought in my mind that I bought this with my own money. And I think that helps to get a little bit more perspective. You know, would I actually pay for this or not? That's probably the best way to go about it for an unbiased review. But I can see how it can be hard. This is the RMS bronzer in Beach Walk Betty. And like I said before, it's just important, I think, to keep in mind that brands are not actually giving you a present. They don't love you, you know? They're doing it because they think that you can make them money or you already have made them money. At the end of the day, it is all business. And I think one of the most recent examples that I've seen, and definitely a more extreme example, was Michaela over on TikTok. If you don't know who she is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, beauty influencer over there. And she has millions and millions of followers. And she reviewed the Tier Cushion Foundation that I talked about a couple videos ago. And she loved it and sold the brand a ton of them. So she ended up going to Korea, visiting their headquarters. I'll just show you a quick clip of what happened.
Was I just gifted a Birkin? Okay, hold on. Let me rewind. Not long ago, I made a video about the Tia Cushion Foundation, and the video went completely viral. So when they heard I was coming to Korea, they offered to take me to their showroom, and I did not expect any of this. When I showed up, my jaw fell on the floor. Tia was so grateful for my viral video that they went all out to give me this incredible experience at their showroom. Let's just say at this point, my hat was beaten out of my chest. You know, honestly, I figured it was like a scarf or maybe an Hermes perfume. But when I opened it up and realized it was a Birkin, like, what is happening? This is the craziest thing any brand has ever done for me. I've never seen a brand go all out like this, and this is, like, unforgettable. I will never forget this day for the rest of my life. I just can't believe that I now own a Birkin. Like, what is happening?
So after an experience like that, how could you not be loyal to the brand? I know Basma Beauty also gave her some Cartier earrings. Like, she is getting absolutely showered with gifts from brands, and no hate to her at all. I mean, some people, I know she's very polarizing. I don't really watch TikTok that much, so I'm not super familiar with her channel anyway, but I say, like, go get it. She has obviously built a very large, very loyal following, so it's one of the perks of the job. I mean, I've seen it myself. Not that I'm anywhere near the size of Michaela's channel, but I've definitely gotten gifts from brands. I got a custom pair of Nike high tops from a brand. I got some Skims sleepwear from a brand, which that's Kim Kardashian's brand. It's not luxury, but it's not inexpensive either. And I'm pretty sure the Nikes weren't cheap. I mean, ColourPop sent me earrings recently. Certain brands will send me like Mother's Day gifts, candles and jewelry and chocolates. And I'm not saying that all of these brands are trying to like buy my loyalty. In some cases, I think they are just run by really sweet people, especially some of the smaller brands that I've worked with. Like when I had my skin cancer surgery back in August, there were a couple of brands that actually like sent me flowers and cards and wanted to know how I was doing. So I'm not trying to say that they're being malicious. And in the cases where it does seem like they're trying to buy someone, it's just a really smart business decision. If you own a company and you know that this person is going to single-handedly sell you, millions of your product, you're going to do what you can to keep them happy. But this is just, again, something that goes on behind the scenes. It's just always helpful to have it in your mind to know that these things are going on. If you happen to notice certain brands getting talked about a lot and it seems sort of artificial or, why is all of a sudden everybody talking about this? Chances are there's a reason for that. Next, I'm just going to use the Cali Ray Super Bloom Lip and Cheek, and this is in the shade Heat Wave. So, when brands are lavishing you with gifts, it can be hard to separate it in your mind, but I think it's really important to try to do that. You kind of always remember which ones really treat you right and which ones don't. Not to pick on Natasha Denona, but I've been in her affiliate program for a while, so I have like a coupon code with her, and I feel like I've sold quite a bit of products for her. I don't know how it compares to other influencers. It might not actually be that much. It seems like a lot to me, but there may be other influencers who, perform better than I do, and that's fine. But recently I got an email from them and they were like, hey, you've been selling like a lot of products for us. You've been doing really well, and we're so grateful for all your support. So I was like, oh, maybe they're going to start sending me PR, because they don't actually send me PR at all. I've never gotten a free product from them. And it wasn't. It was just that like one of their older palettes, I think it was Retro Glam, they were like, we'll offer that to you at a discount if you want to buy it and then talk about it on your channel. We'll give you like a higher commission just for that one product. And I was like, okay. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful or entitled, because I know a lot of people would absolutely love a discount on a palette. And I'm not saying that it was a bad thing that they did that. It was a nice offer, but looking at it from an influencer's perspective, who are they going to promote more? The brand that showers them with tons of free products and gives them every new launch, or the one that doesn't send PR and then offers them a discount code if they want to buy something? Like I feel like that's where it can start to get tricky for us, and you really have to try to separate out your feelings. I know for me, I always try to do what's good, like what's best for the good of my channel. So in this case, I buy every single Natasha Denona palette that I review because I know that my audience wants to see it. You're interested in it. On the other hand, there are more like obscure brands that in the past I've noticed when I talk about them, nobody really cares. So even though they send me every single product for free, I don't talk about them that much because I know it's not going to resonate with my audience. So I always try my best to just forget about what the brand has done for me, what they've given me, and just, like I said, do what I think is going to get views and is going to be the most interesting to you guys, which then in turn, like I said, that will help my channel to get views because you're going to watch something that you're more interested in. I don't have an expectation that every brand is going to send me free products. I will review brands that I like or that I'm interested in regardless of whether they send me things or they don't. And I'm definitely not the only one. I think there are plenty of other influencers that do the exact same thing. I think a lot of the people that I watch have their channel's best interest at heart, and they're going to talk about the things that their audience will find the most interesting. But I have also seen some where it's like I know a PR mailer went out and then all of a sudden everybody's talking about the same thing. I mean, going back to the Natasha Denona example, people might find it refreshing that she's not like showering all of the influencers in PR. She might be. I mean, none of the people that I watch that review her palettes have gotten them for free. They always say that they bought it. So maybe she sends them to larger influencers that I just don't watch. I don't know, but I'm really not sure that she does that. But she also might know that her palettes, whenever there's a launch, or not even just the palettes, anything she launches pretty much is very heavily talked about. So maybe she just knows that people will be willing to spend their own money to buy it to review. So it could be that as well. But in addition to like showering influencers with gifts, there are other things that companies do as well. Just quickly for eyes, I'm going to use the RMS eye lights, and this is in the shade Eclipse. So you might have noticed, like when you're scrolling on your YouTube feed, that video after video after video is talking about the same thing. It could be a product that just launched. It could be a sale like the Sephora sale and the Ulta sale. And sometimes that is truly just because like there's a new product out. Somebody wants to be the first one to review it. So everybody's kind of scrambling to get their review out first. Or other times, like if there's a sale coming up, like the Sephora sale, then it's more of a hot topic that's going to get reviews, but also affiliate commission because a lot more people are going to be shopping during those sales. I know I definitely make a lot more in affiliate commission during those times. So for sure, there are times when everybody's talking about a certain product or whatever that it's organic because they just want to get it out there. They want to be the first to review or whatever. But there are also times where, I'll get an email from a brand and they're trying to push a specific product. Let's say it's something new or just something that's maybe like been out for a while, but now it's trending. They'll email and say, if you push this product, we'll give you a higher commission on it. So let's say we were getting 10% of every sale. They'll bump it up to like 25% for every sale if customers buy this one particular product. Or during a sale, or especially like during the holidays, I remember a lot of affiliate networks will offer bonuses. So if you sell, let's say, I don't know, like $10,000 worth of products, you'll get like a $500 bonus or whatever it is in addition to your earnings. So there's like that constant incentive to push certain things. Or this is another big one too. Sometimes specific brands will offer you a much higher commission than Sephora or Ulta will. Like if you link to the brand's website, instead of let's say like a 10 to 12% commission at Sephora or Ulta, you'll get 38% or something, or 50% I've even seen in some cases. They'll actually pay you half of what the product actually cost if you push that. And then as soon as that happens, I start to see these products being mentioned a lot in videos. It never fails. So that's another thing that happens behind the scenes. This is the Stila Stay All Day liquid eyeliner in brown. Another thing that brands will do is have contests. So for example, they'll email all of their affiliates and they'll say, post as much as you can about us on social media for the next like 4 or 5 days and tag us in every single post. And the person that posts about us the most will win like $1,500 or something. So there's like usually a big cash prize. And then what do you know? All you see is that brand. It's because everybody is competing to try to win something. I know with Amazon, I don't even know like if I'm allowed to talk about this as an affiliate. I don't know if this is like a secret, but when you're part of their affiliate program, they usually give you a goal that they want you to meet as far as sales every month. So I think when I first started as an Amazon affiliate was back in like 2021, I think. They gave me a goal of, I think it was like $2,000 a month or something like that. And if I met that sales goal, they would give me a $100 Amazon gift card. Then I would obviously use that on Amazon. I would buy more products. Then I'm thinking in my head, okay, I have this goal that I have to meet, so I might as well use that $100 to buy things for my next video. So that's what I would do. And it was just like this vicious cycle. And I started to realize, you know, they're getting an Amazon video out of me every month, basically. And it's kind of a sneaky yet brilliant way to make sure that that happens. And then I started thinking about all the other people I watch that do Amazon videos like at least every month, and it started to make sense. And then that year during Prime Day in July, I don't even think I made a video, but I guess people must have been using my links from like a previous video or something. And because everybody buys a lot during Prime, I surpassed my goal that month. And then they sent me an email, and I remember being really surprised that I hit my goal and I went way past it. So she was like, okay, we're gonna raise your goal now from $2,000 a month to $6,000 a month. And if you sell $6,000 a month, you'll get a $300 gift card. And at that point, I was like, I'm never gonna sell $6,000 worth of product a month because first of all, I don't even do Amazon videos all that often. Second of all, the only reason that happened was because of Prime Day. So again, that was like 3 years ago now. I just stopped promoting Amazon after that. I mean, I still will link to them if there's like a product that I bought on Amazon, but I don't like actively do these big Amazon videos anymore. Maybe once in a great while just to kind of round up all of my favorite products, but it's not because I'm trying to hit a goal or anything. At this point, I got tired of that, just like I did with the sponsorships, and I just decided, like back in, I think it was 2022, like I'm just not going to participate in this stuff anymore because it takes all the fun out of it. Yes, it's nice to have extra money, but that's not the real reason I'm here. Yes, it helps to pay for, you know, buying new products, buying equipment, all of the stuff that it takes to keep my channel going, but as long as I at least make that much, I'm good. Another thing that makes me laugh is that companies will sometimes send PR are, and they'll say, there'll be like a little note in there, and they'll like, if you talk about it on social media, make sure to mention that this is like the viral, whatever it is. And I'm thinking, how is this viral? I've never heard of it before. Or if I have, I feel like nobody's really talking about it. By the way, this is the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions. And I think they do that because if enough people start saying like, oh, this is the viral, whatever, like liquid lash extensions, they didn't do this, by the way, I'm just using this as an example, that if they keep saying that, if everybody keeps saying that, then it'll kind of make it go viral. I don't know. Or it'll make it seem more important than it is. I just see so many people using that word. Again, I've used it too, not because a brand told me to, but just because, if I'm talking about products that have just kind of exploded in popularity, that's just kind of the term that people are using nowadays. But yeah, there are a lot of little tricks and things that brands are using to get people to push their products. And I think part of the reason that I don't fall for it is because like I've been around a long time, I'm older, I have so much experience with all of this, even dating back to my time at Sephora, like I mentioned before. I knew what those brands were doing at the time. I knew that the ones that gave us the most product knew that we were going to go out and sell more of it. So again, I think most of us who are on YouTube, anybody on YouTube that you would watch, likely already knows this and probably isn't falling for it either. I think the people who are more likely to fall for it are, these influencers who are over on TikTok, who are super young, they're teenagers maybe, they haven't really been around the industry long, and they don't have that more skeptical mindset. They're just excited that a brand is showering them with all these gifts and attention, and they don't realize that it's all just business at the end of the day, But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this topic. It was something that I was definitely hesitant to talk about because, not that I feel like I'm doing anything wrong or that, most of the people I watch are doing anything wrong either. It's just that I think there's a lot of mistrust when it comes to beauty influencers. And for some reason, I feel like we get more of that than any other industry, even though they're all getting freebies and perks too. For some reason, people just seem to be more let down when the curtain is lifted and they see all of the business dealings that go on behind the scenes. And the only thing I can think of is that, beauty YouTube really, when it first started, was so much about just like connecting with other beauty lovers. And it wasn't about selling products and it wasn't about making money or chasing like fame. It was really just about the love of makeup, and you could sit down and watch a YouTube video and really connect with the other person on screen. And now it just seems like it's lost that relatability a little bit, and it's more about business than anything else. So that's just how I kind of feel about it, but I would love to hear your take down in the comments below. And again, if you have any other topics that you'd like me to cover, be sure to let me know that as well. And I just want to thank all of you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I really, really appreciate it. If you're new here and you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.